Very good morning, guys. Welcome to Exampur. And today we are going to continue our series in the NCERT Class 7 Political Science. Okay, the very next chapter, which is related with the previous chapter only, that is the markets around us. Okay, so this chapter is having the close resemblance, or actually the total resemblance with the previous chapter that we read, that is the markets around us. Okay, actually the name of this chapter is A Shirt in the Market. But this is having absolutely all the theories and the principles we discussed in the previous class. Okay, so पिछली क्लास में हमने जैसे मार्केट्स के बारे में डील किया था, that what are the types of markets, क्या क्या होते हैं मार्केट्स के अंदर, किस तरीके से एक मार्केट चलता है. ओके, कि होलसेल मार्केट है, रिटेल मार्केट है, डिजिटल मार्केट है. इस होलसेल, रिटेल और डिजिटल मार्केट के तहत हमने देखा था कि यहाँ पर अलग अलग वैरायटीज़ भी होती हैं मार्केट्स की या शॉप्स की. लाइक देयर इज़ अ शॉप विच इज़ अ ब्रांड शॉप, which is a proper outlet, and there is also a shop which is a local shop, and we are seeing we can also understand the concept of equality, कि कैसे यहाँ पर अलग अलग लोग, भले ही लोग एक हैं लेकिन लोगों की खरीदने की शक्तियाँ अलग अलग होती हैं. जैसे कि इसमें हमने डिस्कस किया था द सोशल इक्वालिटी, द पॉलिटिकल इक्वालिटी एंड इकोनॉमिक इक्वालिटी. सोशल इक्वालिटी on the one side we have seen that it is achievable, yes, and political equality is also on the very same side is achievable, but on the very negative side, on the opposite side, it is the negative, because economic equality is something which is far from our reach. Why? Because of the society, because of the politics, because of the political discrimination or social discrimination? No, it's just because of the persons or individuals independent talent and capability, or the hard work. Okay, so let's move ahead with the series and understand this concept, a shirt in the market. Okay, so let's go with the paragraphs. A cotton farmer in Kurnool. Okay, a cotton farmer in Kurnool. Swapna, a small farmer in Kurnool, that is a place near in the Andhra state, Andhra Pradesh, grows cotton on her small piece of land. The balls of the cotton plant are ripe and some have already burst. So Swapna is busy picking cotton. The bolls which carry the cotton in them do not burst open all at once, so it takes several days to harvest the cotton. Once the cotton is collected, instead of selling it at Kurnool cotton market, Swapna and her husband take the harvest to the local trader. At the beginning of the cropping season, Swapna had borrowed rupees 2,500 from the trader at a very high interest rate to buy seeds, fertilizers, pesticides for the cultivation. At that time, the local trader made Swapna agree to another condition. He made her promise to sell all her cotton to him. Cultivation of cotton requires high level of inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides, and the farmers have to incur heavy expenses on account of these. Most often, the small farmers need to borrow money to meet these expenses. At the trader's yard, two of his men weigh the bags of cotton at a price of rupees 1,500 per quintal. The cotton fetches rupees 6,000. The trader deducts rupees 3,000 for repayment of loan and the interest and pays Swapna rupees 3,000. Okay, so now Swapna is of the question, rupees 3,000 only. Okay, rupees 3,000 only. Okay, so Swapna asks, 3,000 only, trader. Cotton is selling cheap. There is a lot of cotton in the market. Swapna says, I have toiled so hard for 4 months to grow this cotton. You can see how fine and clean the cotton is this time. I had hoped to get a much better price, the much better rupee. Trader, Amma, I am giving you a good price. Other traders are not even paying this much. You can check at the Kurnool market if you do not believe me. Swapna, don't be angry. How can I doubt you? I had only hoped that we would earn enough from the cotton crop to last us a few months. Though Swapna knows that cotton will sell for at least 1,800 per quintal, she doesn't argue further. The trader is a powerful man in the village, and the farmers have to be dependent on him for loans, not only for cultivation but also to meet other exigencies such as illness, children's school fees, and etc. All there are times in the year when there is no work and no income for the farmers. So borrowing money is the only means of survival. Okay, so borrowing money remains the only means of survival. Swapna's earning from cotton cultivation is barely more than what she might have earned as a wage laborer. Okay, so this is what happens to Swapna, a particular farmer. She know that she is given a very small amount of her production of cotton, 6,000 rupees. उस 6,000 में से भी 3,000 रुपए काट लिए जाते हैं, 2,500 रुपए एज द प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट एंड 500 रुपीज एज द इंटरेस्ट. इसके हाथ में आता क्या है? 3,000 रुपीज. चलो, इन टोटल शी सोल्ड इट फॉर 6,000 रुपीज. Whatever she got in her hand, 3,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees was investment as well. Okay, so she had a profit of 3,000 rupees. But do you think it is a good amount to be paid for such a fine quality of cotton? So Swapna said that I had worked so hard for 4 months to get this much penny. But point is, she knew whatever the amount is paid to her is quite less as compared to the market, but she cannot argue further with the farmer. Reason is, farmer is a strong man. That the person who gave out the money is a strong man. Not physically strong, but yes, socially and politically strong as well. Physically strong हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है, doesn't matters. But socially and politically he is strong. क्या कहते हैं उसे? बाहुबली, है ना? वो वहाँ का कालीन भैया है, उससे नहीं डिस्कस कर सकते हम ये सारी चीजें. Okay? So just because that farmer is quite strong, that person who has given up the money or is taking back the cotton, buying up the cotton, is a strong person, is a powerful person. So Swapna is not in the case of argument. Hence, what happens to the farmer? And apart from that, this powerful person does not provide loans for the money, for the farming, but also to get the other exigencies, that is the other expenses as well, in the time of emergency, in the time of finance, in the time of financial emergency of an individual. That is paying the school fees or medicines or any other unforeseen conditions or to any other unavoidable circumstances. So that person is there to provide money on the rate of interest. Okay, तो ये है हमारे Indian farmers की condition. So in our separate video on the current events on the hot topics, we discussed about the Indian agriculture and the farmers' suicide. Why are these farmers committing suicide? Okay, so if you haven't watched that video, I will suggest with this point, with this paragraph, you should watch out that video. It will give you a lot of information onto the conditions of the Indian farmers and the Indian agricultural system. Okay, so moving ahead, यहाँ पर ये एक farmer की condition है. ये तो चलो farmer की condition है जो हम अच्छे से जानते हैं, but topic is something else, but the chapter is something else. So let's see the chapter ahead. The cloth market of Erode. Erode is bi-weekly cloth market in Tamil Nadu. Erode is a place, a location in Tamil Nadu. So Erode is bi-weekly cloth market in Tamil Nadu is one of the largest clothes market in the world. Okay, yes, largest clothes market in the world. A large variety of cloth is sold in this market. Cloth that is made by wearers. Okay, cloth that is made by wearers in the villages around is also brought here for sale. Around the market are offices of cloth merchants who buy this cloth. Other traders from many South Indian towns also come and purchase cloth in this market. On market days, you would also find weavers bringing cloth that has been made on order from the merchant. These merchants supply cloth on order to garment manufacturers and exporters around the country. They purchase the yarn and give instructions to the weavers about the kind of cloth that is to be made. In the following example, we can see how this is done. So let's see about the example. So remember in the last lecture, we discussed about the markets which are in front of us and the hidden markets. We saw the example of an engine and a car. We have the car market, but we don't have the engine market. Okay. So यहाँ पर भी कुछ उन्हीं hidden markets की बात हो रही है जो हमारे सामने कुछ होते भी हैं और कुछ नहीं भी होते हैं. So the merchant distributes work among the weavers based on the order he has received for cloth. The weavers get the yarn from the merchant and supply him the cloth. For the weavers, this arrangement seemingly has two advantages. The weavers do not have to spend their money on purchase of yarn. Also, the problem of selling the finished cloth is taken care of. Weavers know from the outset what cloth they should make and how much of it is to be woven. However, this dependence on the merchants both for raw materials and markets means that the merchants have a lot of power. They give orders for what is to be made and they pay a very low price for making the cloth. The weavers have no way of knowing who they are making the cloth for or at what price it will be sold. At the cloth market, the merchants sell the cloth to the garment factories. In this way, the market works more in favor of the merchants. Weavers invest all their savings or borrow money at high interest rates to buy looms. Each looms cost rupees 20,000. So as a small weaver with the 2 looms has to invest rupees 40,000. The work on these 2 looms cannot be done alone. The weaver and another adult member of his family work up to 12 hours a day to produce cloth. For all this work, they earn about rupees 3,500 per month. The arrangement between the merchant and the weavers is an example of putting out system. Okay, so understand this point. The arrangement, you will find all of these things in detail in your economics section. The arrangement between the merchant and the weaver is an example of putting out system. Okay, arrangement between whom? Arrangement between the merchant and the weaver. So merchant and weaver, their relation, their business relation is known as the putting out system. Okay, so the relation between the merchant and the weaver is known as, the arrangement between the merchant and the weaver is an example of the putting out system. Okay, now what is putting out system? The merchant deals with some another company, okay, for some material, for some particular product. And where is this merchant getting that product? From some another producer. So the final good, the product is sent directly to a company. Okay, the product is sold to a company, to an organization. But this organization buys indirectly from the weaver. This organization buys directly from whom? The merchant. And who is there at the platform of discussion or at the platform of this coordination? Okay, it is the merchant, not the weaver. Okay, merchant weaver से अपने मन चाहे उस पे पैसा देकर ले सकता है. Okay, लेकिन ये जब किसी एक बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बेच रहा है तो वो इस पे नहीं बेच रहा है कि मर्चेंट वीवर को कितना जाएगा, वो बेच रहा है कि उसको कितना मिलेगा. तो जैसे कि हम देखते हैं कि एक जो वीवर है 40,000 रुपए लगाकर 2 लूम खरीदता है. ओके, मान के चलो आज डेट में पावर लूम्स भी आ गए हैं, लूम्स जिससे कि ये कपड़े बनते हैं, धागों से कपड़े जब बनाए जाते हैं उसको हम कहते हैं लूम. ओके, तो ये जो लूम्स हैं ये तो अब ये मैनुअल लूम्स आते थे, पावर लूम्स भी आ गए. पावर लूम्स लाखों में आते हैं, ये स्मॉल वीवर्स इतना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. तो ये 40,000 रुपए लगाकर 2 लूम खरीदने में, बिकॉज एक लूम से काम नहीं हो पाएगा. और मंथली ये कमाते कितना है? 3,500 रुपीज. यानी कि 1 साल तो इनका ये जो इन्वेस्टमेंट इन्होंने किया है लूम खरीदने में, 1 साल तो यही इन्वेस्टमेंट निकालने में ही लग जाएगा. उसके बाद भी अगर पर मंथ इनको पैसा मिल रहा है, अगर आप देखो 12 घंटे का काम करके दिन के, वो भी 2 लोगों को, तो इट इज 3,500 रुपीज. यानी कि पर हेड 1,700 रुपीज मिल रहा है इनको, 17,1750, 12 घंटे काम करके. So that means they are totally underpaid, right? And this is where the exploitation starts. So next para. The erode merchant supplies the cotton cloth produced by the weavers to a garment exporting factory near Delhi. The garment exporting factory will use the cloth to make shirts. The shirts will be exported to foreign buyers. Among the foreign buyers are business persons from the US and Europe who run a chain of stores. These large stores do business strictly on their own terms. That is, on their own conditions and all. They demand the lowest prices from the supplier. In addition, they set high standards for quality of production and timely delivery. Any defects or delay in delivery is dealt with strictness, that is strictly. So the exporter tries his best to meet the conditions set by these powerful buyers. Actually, the exporter takes this pressure from some another foreign company, and he or she transfers that pressure or transfers that particular strictness to the small weaver. On time दोगे, इतने पैसे में दोगे तभी ले पाऊंगा, नहीं तो नहीं ले पाऊंगा, वरना जाओ. Because इस एक्सपोर्टर को भी ना कहीं से प्रेशर आ रहा है. Okay, that this pressure is from some multinational company or some big industry and all. Faced with such pressures from the buyers, the garment exporting factories in turn try to cut costs. They get the maximum work out of the workers at the lowest possible wages. This way they can maximize their own profits and also supply the garments to foreign buyers at a cheap price. The Impex garment factory has 7 workers. Most of them are women. Most of these workers are employed on a temporary basis. This means that whenever the employer feels that a worker is not needed, the worker can be asked to leave. Workers' wages are fixed according to their skills. The highest paid among the workers are the tailors who get $300 per month. Okay, maximum highest जो है 3,000 रुपए per month पे काम कर रहा है. Women are employed as helpers for thread cutting, buttoning, ironing and packaging. These jobs have the lowest wages. तो अगर आप देखो तो टेलर को 300 रुपए, आयरनिंग को 1.50 रुपीस पर पीस, चेकिंग करने वाले को 2,000 रुपए और थ्रेड कटिंग और बटनिंग वाले को 1,500 रुपीस. So what is this amount? Negligible, nowhere stands. शहरों में तो हमारा इतना पर डे का खर्चा हो जाता है ना? So the shirt in the United States. A number of shirts are on display at a large clothes shop in the United States and are priced at $26. They are priced at $26. That is, each shirt sells for $26 or around ₹1,800. Okay, एक शर्ट जो है 1,800 रुपए में बिक रही है, लेकिन एक पर्टिकुलर कपड़े का पीस जो है, यानी कि ये जो शर्ट बनी है, ऐसी 4-5 शर्ट्स बन जाएं, इसका कपड़ा कितने में खरीदा है? नॉट मोर देन 3,500 रुपीज. ओके, सो द बिजनेस पर्सन, अभी आप यहां पे देखो तो परचेज 300, स्टोरेज 200, एडवर्टाइजिंग 400. ओके, इन टोटल 900 रुपीज दिस शर्ट. ओके, प्रॉफिट कहां आ गया? एक शर्ट से 900 रुपीज का. सो द garment exporter sold the shirt at ₹300 per piece. The cloth and other raw materials cost him ₹100 per shirt. The worker's wages cost another ₹25 per shirt. The cost of running his office came to ₹25 per shirt. So now what is his profit? Double. 150 रुपए एक शर्ट के प्रोडक्शन पर लगता है और 150 रुपए वो शर्ट से कमाता है. ओके, लेकिन ऐसे न जाने कितने शर्ट्स के कपड़े एक वीवर बेचकर, मतलब कहीं वो दूर दूर तक स्टैंड भी नहीं करता है. सो दिस इज इकोनॉमिक इनइक्वालिटी एंड दिस इज नाउ हियर द रोल ऑफ सोसाइटी कम्स एंड द रोल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट कम्स. ओके, हियर द रोल ऑफ सोसाइटी एंड द रोल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इज एक्सपेक्टेड. दैट what do you perform here, what can you perform here, or how much you are performing here. Okay, so moving ahead, who are the gainers in the market? A chain of market links the producer of a cotton to the buyer at the supermarket. Buying and selling takes place at every step in the chain. Now let us recall who were the people who were involved in this process of buying and selling. Did they all gain as much? There were people who made profits in the markets and there were some who did not gain as much from this buying and selling. Despite their having toiled very hard, they earned little. Remember Swapna? पूरा 1 क्विंटल उसने बेचा और उसको मिला क्या? 3,000 रुपीज. 2 क्विंटल बेचा उसने 1,500 रुपीज क्विंटल के हिसाब से, तो उसको 3,000 रुपीज मिला. 1 क्विंटल उसने 2 क्विंटल जो है बेच दिया, उसने 6,000 रुपए में बेच दिया मान लो. ओके, तो उसको क्या मिला? क्या हाथ में? कुछ भी नहीं. और इस 2-4 क्विंटल उसने जो बेचे, 2-4-6 क्विंटल उसने जो बेचे, उस क्विंटल से कितने शर्ट्स बनेंगी? और फाइनली एक शर्ट बेचने वाला जो कंपनी है वो एक शर्ट से 150 रुपए तो अकेले ही कमा ले रहा है ना? तो उसका प्रॉफिट और सपना का प्रॉफिट, जो कि रॉ मटेरियल्स प्रोवाइड कर रही है एक फार्मर, जमीन आसमान का फर्क आ जा रहा है. जमीन आसमान का फर्क छोड़ो, फर्क हम कर ही नहीं सकते, इतना नेग्लिजिबल अमाउंट है. ओके, so the market and equality once again. In the previous chapter also we had this, and in this chapter we are going to read. The foreign business person made huge profits in the market. Compared to this, the garment exporter made only moderate profits. On the other hand, the earnings of the workers at the garment export factory are barely enough to cover their day-to-day needs. Similarly, we saw the small cotton farmer and the weaver at Erode put in long hours of hard work, but they did not get a fair price in the market for what they produced. The merchants or traders are somewhere in between. Compared to the weavers, they have earned more, but it is still much less than the exporter. Thus, not everyone gains equally in the market. Democracy is also about getting a fair wage in the market. Whether it is Kanta or Swapna, if families don't earn enough, how would they think of themselves as equal to others? For sure. Okay? So यहाँ पर बात आ जाती है social, economic और political equality की. On one hand, the market offers people opportunities for work and to be able to sell things and they grow or produce. It could be the farmer selling cotton or the weaver producing cloth. On the other hand, it is usually the rich and powerful merchants or the businessmen that get the maximum earnings from the market. These are the people who have money and own the factories, the large shops, large land holdings, etc. The poor have to depend on the rich and powerful for various things. So, how will this poor can converted into rich? जब ये पुअर ऑलरेडी डिपेंड है किसी एक रिच पर्सन पे, ये जो पुअर है ये डिपेंड किस पे है? किसी रिच पर्सन पे. तो ये क्या ये रिच इस पुअर को कभी रिच बनने देगा? कभी नहीं. एक्सप्लॉयटेशन तो हमारी इकोनॉमी से ही शुरू हो जा रहा है. So where do we need to act? We need to act on the economy in the lowest level, in the lowest strata. When it comes to the politics and governance, remember in the previous classes and the previous chapters we discussed about the panchayats and municipalities, that is government at the lowest level. This chapter tells us another story, that we need economic governance at the lowest level. We need economic regulation. We need an economic regulation acts or the departments or the wings of the government working at the lowest strata, that is at the grassroots level. So at the grassroots level, we just don't need democracy, political democracy. At the grassroots level, we also need economic freedom and economic democracy. Okay, remember with the panchayats and the municipalities chapter, how we saw that government is available at the lowest strata, that is into the towns, okay, that is into the remote areas, that is into the villages and everywhere. And here also we need a separate wing of the government, a separate wing of the economy, a separate wing of financial administration, so that these farmers, a farmer who sells 1500 rupees per quintal of cotton, where she can earn rupees 1800 to 2000 rupees per cotton, per quintal of cotton. And in fact, the 500 rupees which she paid extra as an interest, that could have been saved as well. So उसकी इनकम जो आज 6000 रुपए की हुई है, गवर्नमेंट अगर इंटरवीन करे, देन उसकी इनकम हो सकता है 12 से 15,000 रुपए भी हो जाए, क्योंकि वो 500 रुपए बचेंगे. हो सकता है फर्टिलाइजर्स, पेस्टिसाइड्स गवर्नमेंट के इंटरवेंशन से वहां पर और सस्ते में बिक जाए, या गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडी वहां पर दे दे तो और ज्यादा इन फार्मर्स को प्रॉफिट मिले. क्योंकि इन फार्मर्स को प्रॉफिट मिलेगा तो हमारा जो अर्बन जो रूरल एरिया है उसमें डेवलपमेंट बढ़ेगा. और बेस है ये रूरल एरिया इंडिया का या किसी भी कंट्री का बेस होते हैं, ये डेवलप करेगा तो फॉर श्योर हमारे जो मेगा सिटीज हैं ये और डेवलप करेंगे. ओके, आज हमारे पास दिल्ली मुंबई में अगर 10 बिल्डिंग्स हैं ना तानी हुई, अगर तो हो सकता है अगर इन रूरल एरियाज को अगर हम डेवलप करें तो हो सकता है इस 10 का 20 हो जाए. एट द एंड इट इज गोइंग टू प्रॉफिट द कॉमन मैन. बट हियर दिस इज द जस्ट वन क्वेश्चन, वी नीड ग्रास रूट डेमोक्रेसी in the case of finance as well, okay, in order to safeguard the people, in order to safeguard the interest or the economy of the people and to raise their living standards. That is the human development index. आज भी अगर इंडिया HDI की रेस में पीछे है, आज भी अगर इंडिया HDI की रेस में अगर दुनिया भर की सरकारों से, देशों से पीछे है, तो रीजंस यही हैं. स्वप्ना जैसे फार्मर्स, कुछ वीवर्स और कुछ मर्चेंट्स जो कि सामान खरीद रहे हैं, बेच रहे हैं, लेकिन इनके हाथ में आ क्या रहा है? मर्चेंट्स जो है वो मॉडरेट कमा रहे हैं, वीवर्स और जो फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स हैं, प्रोडक्शन यूनिट्स वाले हैं, या जो फार्मर्स हैं, उनकी इनकम की तो बात ही मत करो. वो इनकम है ही नहीं, वो तो बस ऐसे ही दे दिया उनको एज अ टिप, उसे आप इनकम कह ही नहीं सकते. ओके, सो इन ऑर्डर टू अचीव द गुड अमाउंट ऑफ HDI, द गुड रैंक इन द HDI, and to raise the living standards of the people and to safeguard the economy of these people, the need of the hour is the grassroots financial democracy and the financial administration into the remote and the rural areas or the villages of the India. Okay, so you can see out the questions here. What made Swapna sell the cotton to the trader instead of selling at the Kurnool cotton market? Because ट्रेडर यहां पर ये जो है इसने पहले ही शर्त रख ली थी कि पैसा तो दे दूंगा लेकिन कॉटन मुझे ही बेचना पड़ेगा, है ना। क्यों? क्योंकि सपना के पास और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है पैसे लाने का, वो लोकल ट्रेडर ही है जो उसको पैसा दे सकता है इन ऑर्डर टू इन्वेस्ट। तो सपना पहले से ही हैंडकफ्ड है। नेक्स्ट, डिस्क्राइब द कंडीशंस ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट एज वेल एज द वेजेस ऑफ वर्कर्स इन द गारमेंट एक्सपोर्टिंग फैक्ट्री। तो अब देखो, टेलर मैक्सिमम जो पेड है वो टेलर 3,000 रुपए, जो आयरन कर रहा है, जो प्रेस कर रहा है कपड़ों को 1.50 रुपीस पर पीस, एक दिन में कितना भी पर लो 1.50 रुपीस पर पीस, है ना। तो उसकी भी इनकम मैक्सिमम जो हो पाएगी 2,000-2,500 से ज्यादा नहीं हो पाएगी। फिर उसके बाद से जो बटन स्टाफ है, जो बटन लगा रहा है कपड़ों में या और जो बाकी पैकेजिंग का काम कर रहा है, 1,500 रुपए। क्या है ये अमाउंट? कुछ भी नहीं है इतना। तो मतलब इससे इतना तो इनका इंसेंटिव्स होना चाहिए, इससे ज्यादा, इससे डबल तो इनके इंसेंटिव्स होने चाहिए, बट ये इनकी टोटल सैलरी। नेक्स्ट, थिंक ऑफ समथिंग कॉमन दैट वी यूज। इट कुड बी शुगर, टी, मिल्क, पेन, पेपर, पेंसिल, एटसेट्रा। डिस्कस थ्रू व्हाट चेन ऑफ मार्केट्स दिस रीचेस यू। Can you think of the people that help in the production or trade? So if you take example of sugar, okay, if you take example of sugar, तो शुगर सबसे पहले शुगर कहां से आ रहा है? फैक्ट्री से। आप शॉप ओनर से ले रहे हो, किसी एक शॉप ओनर से ले रहे हो, वो शॉप ओनर किसी एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर से ले रहा है, वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर फैक्ट्री से ले रहा है, वो फैक्ट्री किससे ले रही है? फार्मर से। वो फार्मर जो शुगर केन, गन्ना, ओके, शुगर केन की पैदावार कर रहा है। ये फार्मर जो शुगर केन को ये उगाने के लिए, इसकी कल्टीवेशन के लिए पेस्टिसाइड्स खरीद रहा है ना, सीड्स खरीद रहा है, फर्टिलाइजर्स खरीद रहा है, और फिर उसके बाद से फार्म प्रोडक्शन, फार्मर ये अपने फार्म लैंड के मेंटेनेंस के लिए उसके मतलब जो बोलते हैं ना, वो पूरा प्रॉपर लेना है, ट्रैक्टर वगैरह सब खुदाई करने के लिए टूल्स वगैरह लेना है। तो उसमें मल्टीपल पूरा एक चेन शामिल है। ओके, सो ट्राई टू फिगर आउट into the production of sugar or anything which is favoring you. Okay, so that's it with this chapter, guys. That's it. So I guess ये जो दो chapters थे हमारे, the markets around us and the shirt in the market, दोनों chapters interlinked थे. Okay, so I guess both of these chapters are quite clear to you. Okay, and in the next class we'll be discussing the next chapters, which and we are almost into the end of the class 7 NCERT political science series, and by next class or next class we'll be moving towards the class 8 NCERT political science. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Go on with the answer writing for sure, because these questions are there directly or indirectly with some other words in your mains examination. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, have a good day, bye bye, Jai Hind, Khuda Hafiz.